This video is for educational purposes only and does not constitute professional medical advice. Please consult with your doctor or a qualified healthcare specialist before starting any new vitamins or supplements mentioned in this video. Use of this information is at your own risk. Look closely at your reflection in the mirror today. Notice the subtle changes in your forearms, the way your legs seem slightly thinner than they were just a few years ago, or how your grip feels less certain when opening a jar. This isn't just a natural part of blowing out more candles on a birthday cake. For many of you over the age of 60, something far more sinister is happening beneath the surface. Your body is engaging in a desperate act of biological cannibalism. It is literally consuming its own muscle tissue to keep your vital organs functioning because your digestive system has effectively stopped doing its job. This process, known as sarcopenia, is the silent thief of independence, and it begins not in your gym, but in your gut. Welcome to Eldra Fit Nutrition. It's a pleasure to have you with us today. We are dedicated to uncovering the hard truths about aging that others are too afraid to discuss, providing you with the scientific tools to reclaim your vitality. Before we go any deeper into this urgent mystery, please take a moment to subscribe to the channel. Your support gives us the strength to continue researching and bringing these life-changing health revelations to the world. The terrifying reality for many seniors is that you can be eating a high-protein diet and still be starving at a cellular level. Imagine a car with a rusted, seized engine. No matter how much high-grade fuel you pour into the tank, the car won't move because the internal components cannot process that energy. Your digestive tract, after 6 decades of service, often becomes that rusted engine. It loses the lubrication necessary to break down nutrients and transport them to your muscles. When your gut fails to provide the amino acids your muscles crave, your brain sends a signal to start breaking down your existing muscle fibers to find those missing nutrients. You are quite literally melting away from the inside out. Shutterstock. However, I recently discovered a specific nutrient that acts like a biological WD-40 for this exact problem. I stumbled upon it while researching cellular longevity, and the results were nothing short of miraculous. When I began implementing this protocol, the chronic heaviness in my abdomen vanished, and my physical strength felt as though it had been oiled overnight. This isn't a probiotic or a simple fiber supplement. It is a fundamental building block of cellular energy that repairs the very lining of your digestive system. It addresses the wear and tear of the intestines at a level so deep that it restores the gut-muscle axis, allowing your body to stop eating itself and start rebuilding. Without this specific lubricant, your muscles will continue to atrophy, leaving you vulnerable to falls, fatigue, and a loss of freedom. But with it, you can flip the switch from decay to restoration. Think about your own daily life and answer honestly in the comments below. A, I feel like my body is getting weaker and my digestion is slower every year. B, I feel strong and my digestion is as efficient as it was in my 40s. Please comment A or B below. I want to see how many of us are currently fighting this silent battle against muscle wasting. The tragedy of modern aging is that the solutions we are told to trust are often the very things accelerating our decline. If you walk into any pharmacy, the senior health aisle is packed with antacids, acid blockers, and colorful bottles of laxatives. We have been conditioned to believe that heartburn and indigestion are signs of too much acid. But for those of you over 60, the opposite is almost always true. You are likely suffering from a profound lack of stomach acid, a condition that turns your digestive tract into a graveyard for the proteins you eat. When you swallow an antacid to quiet that burning sensation, you are inadvertently shutting down the only mechanism your body has to digest muscle-building protein. Protein requires a highly acidic environment to break down into the amino acids that keep your bicep, heart, and leg muscles strong. By neutralizing that acid, you ensure that the expensive steak or healthy salmon you ate sits in your stomach, putrefying and creating gas without ever reaching your muscle cells. This is the ultimate senior trap. You take a pill to feel better in the short term, but that pill is the very reason your muscles are turning to jelly. You are trading your future mobility for a few hours of digestive comfort. Furthermore, The long-term use of these common Band-Aid solutions creates a devastating ripple effect. Chronic use of proton pump inhibitors and high-dose laxatives has been linked to a significant drop in the absorption of B vitamins and essential minerals. This leads to a state of chronic inflammation in the gut lining, which acts as a barrier to the very WD-40 vitamin we are discussing. Instead of a smooth, efficient absorption process, your intestines become a battlefield of oxidative stress. This stress damages the endoplasmic reticulum, the part of your cells responsible for folding proteins and managing fats. When this cellular structure is compromised, your body cannot use the protein you consume, even if you manage to digest it. This is why you see so many seniors who eat well but continue to look frail and thin. They are trapped in a cycle of malabsorption and inflammation. The steroids often prescribed for inflammatory gut issues only worsen the problem by further breaking down the connective tissues and suppressing the very immune cells needed to repair the gut wall. To break this cycle, we must stop looking at the symptoms and start looking at the cellular fuel. We need to move away from the suppress and block mentality of modern medicine and move toward a repair and lubricate strategy that prioritizes the health of your mitochondria and the integrity of your digestive lining. Only by restoring the natural acidic and energetic environment of the gut can we hope to save the muscles that keep us standing tall. The bridge between a healthy stomach and a strong, capable body is built upon a foundation of invisible cellular energy. To understand why your muscles are vanishing, we must look deeper than the food on your plate and into the microscopic power plants residing within every cell of your intestinal lining, the mitochondria. These tiny structures are responsible for generating the life force known as ATP, but they cannot perform this miracle alone. They require a critical helper molecule called NAD, or nicotinamide adenine dinucleotide. Think of NAD as the master electrician of your digestive system. It facilitates the movement of electrons, turning the raw fuel of your meals into usable biological energy. As we cross the threshold of 60, our natural reserves of NAD begin to plummet, leaving our digestive tract in a state of energetic bankruptcy. When your gut cells are starved of NAD, they lose their ability to perform the heavy lifting of digestion. The complex process of breaking down dense proteins into the amino acids required for muscle repair becomes an impossible task. Without sufficient ATP, the intestinal wall begins to weaken and fray, a condition often described as a leaky gut. This is where the tragedy of muscle wasting truly takes root. In a healthy state, the endoplasmic reticulum within your cells carefully folds proteins and manages fats, ensuring they are ready to be shipped to your bicep and leg muscles. But under the weight of oxidative stress and low NAD levels, this delicate machinery grinds to a halt. The cellular WD-40 we are discussing, niacinamide, enters the fray as a direct precursor to NAD. By replenishing this vital molecule, you are essentially restoring the power grid of your digestive system. This allows the gut to once again reduce inflammation and repair the microscopic damage to its lining. When your gut has the energy to function properly, it stops being a barrier and becomes a gateway, finally allowing the nutrients you consume to reach their destination. It is this profound cellular restoration that shifts the body out of a survival mode, where it consumes itself, and back into a state of growth and resilience. The connection is undeniable. A gut without energy is a body without muscle. By fueling the mitochondria, you are not just fixing your digestion, you are providing the spark that keeps your physical strength alive. The silent erosion of your vitality rarely happens without a whisper of warning, though we often mistake these signals for the inevitable fatigue of age. If your digestive system has begun the desperate process of eating your own body to survive, it will leave a trail of evidence across your daily life. The first, and perhaps most telling sign, is a growing aversion to protein-rich foods, particularly meats. You may find that a steak or a piece of chicken feels heavy, like a stone in your stomach, leading to hours of bloating and discomfort. This is your body's way of admitting it no longer has the enzymatic strength to process the very building blocks your muscles need. Closely tied to this is a sense of chronic, low-grade inflammation, a persistent warmth or dull ache in the abdomen that never truly dissipates. This internal fire is a hallmark of energy depletion, signaling that your gut is in a constant state of emergency. As the deficiency deepens, you will notice a profound, heavy fatigue that sleep cannot fix. Because your cells cannot efficiently convert food into ATP, your entire system operates on a dim battery, leaving your muscles feeling weak, shaky, or prone to painful nocturnal cramps. These aren't just muscle issues, they are cries for help from a starved gut-muscle axis. Furthermore, the disruption of the gut-brain connection often manifests as fragmented sleep and a subtle clouding of the mind, often referred to as brain fog. You may even see the evidence on your skin. It may become unusually dry, rough, or hypersensitive to sunlight, a classic dermatological signal that your B3 levels have hit a critical low. Most alarmingly, you might notice a decline in your short-term memory or cognitive speed. When the gut is failing, the toxins that should be processed and removed begin to leak into the bloodstream, creating a systemic toxicity that clouds your thoughts and weakens your resolve. Each of these symptoms is a link in a chain that leads toward frailty. They are not just inconveniences, they are urgent messages that your cellular machinery is failing. To ignore them is to allow the silent thief of muscle wasting to complete its work. But to recognize them is the first step in reclaiming the strength and independence that belong to you. The path to reclaiming your physical sovereignty begins with a deliberate, disciplined return to cellular harmony. To mend a digestive system that has spent decades in decline, you must introduce niacinamide, the non-flushing form of vitamin B3, not as a fleeting remedy, but as a consistent fuel for your recovery. The secret to success lies in the rhythm of your intake. Rather than a single large dose that overwhelms the system, you must provide small, steady amounts of 100 to 150 milligrams, 3 to 6 times throughout the day, always accompanied by a meal. This frequent dosing ensures that your NAD levels remain elevated, providing a constant stream of energy to the mitochondria in your gut lining, allowing the repair work to continue without interruption. Think of this vitamin as the master architect of your internal restoration, but remember that an architect is useless without raw materials. You must prioritize high-quality protein, aiming for at least 0.8 to 1.2 grams per kilogram of your body weight. This protein provides the essential amino acids that niacinamide will direct toward your hungry muscle fibers. However, restoration requires sacrifice. To allow your internal WD-40 to work, you must eliminate the agents of friction. Alcohol must be removed entirely during this healing phase, as it aggressively depletes your NAD stores and poisons the very cells you are trying to save. You must also turn away from corn-heavy diets and processed junk foods that trigger systemic inflammation and block the natural synthesis of B vitamins. This is my 90-day challenge to you. Commit to this protocol with unwavering focus. Document your journey starting today. Record your digestive comfort, your grip strength, and your overall energy levels at day 0, 30, 60, and 90. By the end of this 3-month cycle, as your inflammation recedes and your cellular energy returns, you will find that the terrifying specter of muscle wasting has been replaced by a renewed sense of strength and a digestive system that finally works in your favor. The journey we have explored today is about far more than just a single vitamin or a specific dietary change. It is about a fundamental shift in how we perceive the aging process. We are often told that the frailty of our later years is an inescapable destiny, a slow fading of the light that we must simply accept with grace. But the science of the gut-muscle axis tells a different story. It reveals that much of what we call getting old is actually the result of cellular starvation and a breakdown in the communication between our internal systems. When we understand that our muscles are the armor that protects our independence and that our digestive system is the forge where that armor is maintained, we realize that we hold much more power over our future than we were led to believe. The profound lesson here is that the body is a beautifully interconnected web. You cannot fix the strength in your legs without first fixing the fire in your stomach. True health is not found in suppressing symptoms with a pill, but in nurturing the microscopic processes that sustain life itself. Applying this lesson to your daily life requires a shift from reactive habits to proactive stewardship. It means looking at every meal not just as a source of pleasure, but as a vital investment in your cellular energy. It means having the courage to question conventional wisdom that offers temporary comfort at the cost of long-term strength. As you move forward, let this knowledge be your guide. Start small, be consistent, and listen to the whispers of your body as it responds to the care you are finally providing. This is not just about living longer. It is about living stronger, with the vitality to enjoy the fruits of a life well lived. You have the tools, the science, and the protocol. Now, the choice to transform is yours. To help everyone in our community learn from each other's experiences, I would love to hear your thoughts. Which of the digestive symptoms mentioned today, such as bloating after protein or general muscle weakness, do you find most frustrating in your daily life? Please share your perspective in the comments below so we can all gain insight from one another. If you found this information valuable and want to see more content dedicated to high-level health and vitality, please subscribe to the channel to support our mission and help us continue bringing these deep health revelations to you.